Simplicity in Dress. Chapter 62. He declares that the glory of Solomon could not bear comparison with one of the flowers in natural loveliness. Here is a lesson for all who desire to know and to do the will of God. Jesus has noticed the care and devotion given to dress, and has cautioned, He commanded us not to bestow too much thought upon it. It is important that we give careful heed to His words. As we see our sisters departing from simplicity in dress and cultivating a love for the fashions of the world, we feel troubled. By taking steps in this direction, they are separating themselves from God and neglecting the inward adorning. Satan invented fashions in order to keep the minds of women so engrossed with the subject of dress that they could think of but little else. They are conforming to the world in the matter of dress. God would be pleased to see our sisters clad in neat, simple apparel and earnest engaged in the work of the Lord. Extravagance in dress is continually increasing. The end is not yet. Fashion is constantly changing, and our sisters follow in its wake, regardless of time or expense. There is a great amount of means expended upon dress, when it should be returned to God the giver. And their time is so thoroughly occupied in making their dress as fashionable as that of their sisters that they have no time for the improvement of the mind, for the study of God's Word, for secret prayer, or for the prayer meeting. The mind entirely taken up with planning how to appear as well as their sisters. To accomplish this end, physical, mental, and moral health is sacrificed. Happiness and the favor of God are laid upon the altar of fashion. By walking in a forbidden path themselves, they lead others in the same way of disobedience and backsliding. My Christian sisters, face the mirror, the law of God, and test your course of action by the first 4 commandments. These explicitly define our duty to God. He claims the undivided affections, and anything which tends to absorb the mind and divert it from God assumes the form of an idol. And when we see them using God's time and money in needless display of dress, we cannot but warn them that they are breaking not only the first 4, but the last 6 commandments. Many have united with worldlings in pride, vanity, and pleasure-seeking, flattering themselves that they could do this and still be Christians. But it is such indulgences that separate them from God and make them children of the world. Many dress like the world in order to have an influence over unbelievers, but here they make a sad mistake. If they would have a true and saving influence, let them live out their profession, show their faith by their righteous works, and make the distinction plain between the Christian and the worldling. The words, the dress, the actions should tell for God. The Lord is displeased with the pride manifested among His professed people. He is dishonored by their conformity to the unhealthful, immodest, and expensive fashions of this degenerate age. Fashion rules the world, and she is a tyrannical mistress, often compelling her devotees to submit to the greatest inconvenience and discomfort. Fashion taxes without reason and collects without mercy. The dress reform was introduced among us. It was not intended to be a yoke of bondage, but a blessing, not to increase labor, but to save labor, not to add to the expense of dress, but to save expense. It would distinguish God's people from the world, and thus serve as a barrier against its fashions and follies. Satan is constantly devising some new style of dress that shall prove an injury to physical and moral health, and he exalts when he sees professed Christians and eagerly accepting the fashions that he has invented. The amount of physical suffering created by unnatural and unhealthful dress cannot be estimated. Many have become lifelong invalids through their compliance with the demands of fashion.